Blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Thank you all for joining us. We are live from Independence Indoor Shooting in beautiful Meridian, Idaho. Taking your calls and listening to folks firing on the range. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Coming up, we'll have another one of our finalists for our Girls with Guns competition. Anna will join us, and she won the gun safe courtesy of our friends at Independence Indoor Shooting. Out to Washington, D.C., from your house to the White House. Dan Stein joining us from FAIR. Dan, good morning.
Great to be with you, Kevin.
You know, as a person who has been in the courtroom, has gone to law school, has been a lawyer, you've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get to immigration and the president standing firm on the wall, but as someone who's been involved in the legal system intimately for years, two words for you, Kavanaugh and Rosenstein. Wow.
Well, these are certainly interesting times for people who are, looking for an impartial system of justice and the sober process that the Constitution gives the Senate to both advise and consent and hopefully be supportive of the administration's effort to run both a judicial system, the nominating process, and the Department of Justice. But the politicization of the FBI, the politicization of the Department of Justice, these were things that were being warned of by a lot of people toward the end of the Obama administration. And it all turned out to be even worse than people anticipated, ever expected. And, of course, this circus, this fiasco, what's taking place with Judge Kavanaugh, is really without historical precedent. And I guess we had some warning shots across the bow with Judge Bork and then with Clarence Thomas's confirmations. But now I'm staring at my computer screen at a calendar from 1982 showing when Judge Kavanaugh went to summer camp when he was in high school. And somehow this is relevant to something here. But anyhow, it's very deeply disappointing, and it just tells how for so many years now with a dysfunctional legislature, we've been more and more, the left in particular, has looked to the courts to win policy battles, to turn the Supreme Court into a super legislature, one that's, completely immune from public accountability. And so naturally the major political battles are all being waged around this whole surrogate argument on what kind of justice should serve on the court. Somebody who reads the law and interprets it and reads the Constitution and adheres to it, or somebody who wants to impose a political agenda on the American people without any political accountability.
Dan Stein joining us from FAIR. Now, Dan, coming up, you're going to hear some live fire because we're at the shooting range here. So don't be concerned. We do have the range safety officer here, but if you hear some bullets firing in the background, that's because of it. So,
well, it's always nice to talk to you, Kevin, and know that you're you don't take any prisoners.
We don't as we move along. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what's at stake here with the continuing resolution and everything else. The president standing firm on the wall. Where does FAIR stand? Where are we with the people?
Look, it's pretty inexcusable that Congress refuses for whatever reason to give him money to get the wall going, because that was the marquee component of his campaign, major political promise to the American people, clearly something in rally after rally Trump promised and people were very excited about. And there's no question, Kevin, that the so-called establishment business wing of the party is waiting Trump out, hoping he goes away or backs off the wall at some point, because they just can't seem to, you can argue, well, the Democrats are responsible because the reason they don't want to give Trump any wall funding is because Trump wants it so much. But that's really not an excuse for the rather milquetoast leadership we've seen from Paul Ryan and Senator McConnell in pushing to deliver the kind of money needed to get it started. Now, there are arguments that Ann Coulter and others make that under the president's war powers, he has money under the Defense Department budget where he could start building the wall on national security grounds. But arguably, it's really Congress's responsibility to give him the appropriation as part of our border security infrastructure. But waiting for that to happen is one of the big reasons people went out to the polls in 2016. And, what element of the immigration issue is going to motivate the base for Republicans if it appears that, major promises like this can't be kept?
Well, then you've got Beto in Texas wanting open borders for everybody.
Well, that's really strange because, I remember when Rick Perry expressed some sympathy for an amnesty for dreamers, as they called them, that really set him back in the primaries. And as I recall, Mitt Romney really undermined Perry's political aspirations on that issue. And here we are, we got a Democrat, a guy who's went way off onto the left, appearing to give Ted Cruz a run for his money. And clearly there's an enormous amount of outside money in that Texas race. Of course, the media don't ever want to cover that. There'll be a few stories after the fact, of course, like they did in Alabama on the Judge Moore race. But they don't really talk about the huge amounts of money that George Soros and his surrogates are pushing into the state, out-of-state money to try to get this guy, elected. Then they figure that Ted Cruz is target number one. He's one of those people who, stands up to the left. Cruz has been surprisingly supportive of President Trump since the bruising political battle they had. And, maybe the demographics of Texas are changing, no question about it, but hard to believe they're changing that fast that they're willing to elect somebody like Beto O'Rourke over someone like Ted Cruz.
Well, again, they're trying to make it the self-fulfilling prophecy. Dan Stein joining us from FAIR. Dan, what should we be looking out for? What can we do to help in the upcoming weeks?
Well, Congress, of course, has pretty much punted the ball into the lame duck session. They're unlikely to put any wall funding in the CR at this point. President Trump might cut a deal during a lame duck and try to get the wall funding then, and who knows what he would give away at that point. But it's important people to constantly remind their representatives that they were promised a wall, they were promised wall funding. They should support President Trump's promises. I think right now today it would be good if people would remind their representatives that they support what the president said at the UN yesterday. That was the most strongly worded, full-throated defense of a nation's right to control its borders and its immigration policies by an American political leader going back probably to Teddy Roosevelt. And of course, the UN didn't exist back then, but probably in the history of the United Nations, certainly for an American president giving a speech about the importance of sovereignty and border control. And, Trump is doing what he promised he would do. He's trying to deliver. There's an old adage about politicians. They say, look, I'll double-cross that bridge when I get to it.
Right.
And, Trump is a refreshing guy. He kind of says, look, this is what I told the people I'm going to do, and this is what I'm doing. And whether it's on trade and immigration policy, he's been pushing very hard. The lessons of this last 2 years, in my mind, Kevin, are that the business community tends to be very clever behind the scenes trying to undermine what Trump is trying to do on the immigration front. We all hear a lot from the very loud left, the big shiny object, the radical left. They're very noisy. They make a lot of noise. Tends to distract from the fact that it's also the business wing, often influential in the Republican Party, as well as the tech companies on the Democratic side, that have been working very hard to try to stop Trump from doing what he's done. But by the same token, the Trump administration itself has done enormous benefit, great things at U.S. Citizenship Immigration Services, at Immigration Customs Enforcement, at the Border Patrol. And it's so important that people give the White House positive feedback for the immigration policy changes they've made. They are about to unleash regulations, which are going to say, finally, look, if you're planning to come here and get on welfare, you're not welcome. And these regulations, they're called the public charge regulations, which really are revival of our traditional notions in immigration policy that if you really don't have the ability to make a living, a meaningful living, you really shouldn't come into the country. That's going to be opposed very loudly by the typical mainstream media and their advocates. So it's important. People find out about these regulations, the public charge regulations, and we would surely appreciate it if folks would comment in support of them when they come up for comment in the next week or two.
Dan Stein, we always appreciate you and believing in America, and I want to thank you for believing in us, sir.
God bless you, Kevin. Always great to see you, and it was super to see you here in Washington.
God bless you, and thank you for making that happen, Dan. You take care.
Take care, my friend.
All right, our great friend Dan Stein joining us from FAIR. We are at Independence Indoor Shooting. we have another one of our finalists, Girls with Guns here. Ryan from Independence Indoor Shooting. Anna joins us. Anna, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate that. And Ryan, thank you so much for supporting this great competition. Another winner here today. What did Anna win?
She won a Rhino safe. Rhino is an awesome safe company. They're actually here in Idaho, so it's an Idaho manufacturer. We provide their products here to our customers, and she won one of their safes, and it's a really nice safe.
Boy, that is amazing. I didn't know that Rhino was here in Idaho.
Yeah.
A lot of hidden secrets around here in the Gem State when it comes to firearms and stuff. So, Anna, tell us a little bit about your photo. Thousands of people have seen it, and they voted. How did this come to be? How did you become a girl with a gun?
Well, actually, what's interesting is we actually took that photo after my mother's funeral. And so that's why I was dressed up in a dress. And we had our whole family there, and just kind of brought us together, and we got to shoot. And I was shooting 12 gauge with some pheasant load, which is pretty hot, and so it was shooting these fireballs out of the end of the barrel, and so we captured a picture of that and decided to submit it. So
that's pretty impressive. Now, was this your idea or somebody else's idea? How did you hear about it?
Hear about
the Girls with Guns.
Oh, my dad, he listens to the radio, and he said, "Hey, you need to submit this photo. I think you would do pretty well in the competition." So he's the one that told me to do this.
He was right about that. Tell us about your love of firearms.
Well, I started dating someone that actually works at Impact, and I started dating him about 5 years ago, and he got me really into it. And so now I've got 3 shotguns and an AR build and several handguns, so I'm pretty much all in now.
Well, I believe her, Ryan. I believe her. What about you?
Sounds like she knows how to handle a firearm. That's great.
I would say so. What does the Second Amendment mean to you, Anna?
Well, I think that we need to have our right to bear arms, because otherwise, I mean, it's how the it's just we need it in order to have our freedom, and if we take it away, we're not going to have our rights. I mean, all of our rights won't mean anything if we can't protect them. And it's also personal protection. I have a concealed carry permit.
I kind of figured that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's personal protection and being able to protect myself and not having to rely on others to do that. And
sure.
So.
Well, we hope you enjoy the safe. We thank you so much, and I know you've had a chance to walk around here. Have you been back shooting this morning at all?
I haven't yet, but I'm eyeing that 50 cal. I think I wanted to give that a whirl.
Well, Ryan, what do you think about that?
We can certainly accommodate her on that. That'd be great.
Indeed, and that's the great thing. If people are just tuning in, they might have heard the commercials about Independence. It's a very big facility. You have everything you need. That's not hyperbole. That's just how it is here.
Yeah, we do everything we can to really support the sport of shooting and just help our customers here in the Treasure Valley enjoy their rights to shoot guns and to practice with them and help them learn how to protect themselves and carry a firearm. It's really cool that she was able to win this safe. As a gun owner, it's really important to protect your firearms and keep them away from people, and a safe does a really good job of that. One of the services we provide here is we actually deliver the safes that customers purchase. So it's a real convenience for our customers to be able to do that. So that's a nice thing that we can do.
Yeah,
for
I'd say, because they're not light.
No, they're really heavy.
Right. Yeah. You going to put that safe to good use?
Oh, I sure hope so. I've got a couple handguns I got to put in it. So
sure. Well, you got to buy some more to fill it up now.
Yeah,
That's how
it
works, I guess. Anyway, thank you. Congratulations, Anna. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Always, and thank you for your patience. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. KIDO Talk Radio, Kevin Miller in the morning. Coming up, our friend Greg Pruitt will join us once again, Idaho's Second Amendment Alliance on Facebook. Find out how you can help strengthen the Second Amendment here in the Gem State. We're at Independence Indoor Shooting. What you hear in the background is not trash cans or anything else. That's live fire on the range. You should be hearing a 50 caliber machine gun coming up, courtesy of our friends at Independence Indoor Shooting. Anna, who was a finalist for our Girls with Gun competition, won that Rhino safe. She'll be firing that this morning between now and 9 o'clock. Joining us now, a gentleman of all good and wonderful things from Team Mazda Subaru in Nampa and in Boise and everywhere in the Treasure Valley. Rob Studebaker, good morning, sir.
Wow, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Well said.
It's been a while since we've had you on. First of all, always want to thank you for your support for the community, for our wonderful Promote Our Schools, Secure Our Future, and Miller's Mission. I've had people actually emailing me, when is it time for the turkey? And it's only September.
Ooh.
I know.
We really want to see you in that suit.
I don't understand that. Larry Gebert was talking about that yesterday. He goes, well, there's something about it. And I think we had a promo once where he called me scrumptious or something like that. And I'm going,
Something about it.
I know how Larry talks.
Sure.
It's so official,
Right.
that booming voice. When we take a look at team caring about the community, obviously you're here to sell cars. Subaru's very hot, very reliable.
Aren't you driving one?
I drive two from Team Mazda Subaru. Mazda, very hip, happening, but I'm a Subaru
You
guy.
might win the award for the most.
For what? Most what?
For the most purchase from us, from any radio host.
I got a long way to go, I think. But, well, depending on how the credit rating agencies, and that's where you guys come in, that could possibly be.
Right.
I could buy a fleet. It's so comfortable buying from Team Mazda Subaru. But we take a look at safety. We've got some new Subarus coming up that are really catching people's eyes that should be available, very soon, 2019. Obviously, the redesigned Forester. We've got the Outback, which is always good.
Right.
And we've got a new one coming up.
The third row Ascent is
Yeah.
here. Yeah. It's special. 19 cup holders.
19 cup holders.
Yep.
So we could
you
take.
got me talking about cars. How did that happen?
I know. You never want to talk about cars when we have you on.
Well, you do so many great things. That's what we want to do.
and
we want to follow you to all your great things.
And like I said, we can't do it without people that believe in the community and believe in us, and that's where you come in. You're always there. I can remember when we met at the Snake River Stampede. You
That's
go,
right.
I
That's
like
right.
that guy. He's a little pudgy, but I like that guy.
I don't know that I said that.
Well, you got to add some entertainment value for our friends listening right now. But let's talk a little bit about what you got going on this weekend.
Well, Aaron couldn't make it. He's down at the Boise Town Square Mall.
Right. A
Selling
little competition.
Selling cars.
Yeah.
Right. We're battling.
Right.
Right.
So you're in Nampa. He's in Boise. What's going on?
We're talking about cars again.
Sales. I promise we'll stop in a minute.
Yeah, sale. So big sale down at Boise Town Square Mall, and and new cars are over in Caldwell.
Right. Now, one more final question about safety. This is why I love Subarus. Anybody can drive them, but if you're an engineer, if you're someone like that, they seem to go for Subarus because of the incredible safety and the handling.
Yeah, it's a really, really smart choice to buy a Subaru.
Right.
All the areas, the resale value, the safety, reliability. It's a really safe place to put your family.
Right.
I'd agree.
Final question. That's it on cars.
Okay, thank you.
More with Rob Studebaker in a minute. Rob, I was going to say Rob and weather, but it's traffic and weather together. KIDO Talk Radio.
Larry Gebert.
Do you want to remind everybody the Kevin Miller Money code word of the day in the 8 o'clock hour, squad. Squad. So listen at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., and 3 p.m. during Sean Hannity. Your chance to win up to $5,000. We're at Independence Indoor Shooting in Meridian, Idaho, just off Overland, right behind the new Gem Prep. Can't miss it. Rob Studebaker joining us from Team Mazda Subaru. So we're not going to talk about cars.
Squad.
Squad is the word for the
How do
day.
you spell that, Kevin?
Fortunately, I have the sheet in front of me.
Does that play well? Because I couldn't tell if you said squad or
Squad?
Squad. Where are you from?
That's a good question. America.
America.
Yes,
Thank you.
America.
Doesn't matter. Just a mutt.
Somewhere. I think we need to go back to talking about cars. But anyway, somewhere in America, we look at the community. Obviously, a lot of growth going on. Your thoughts on that? Just still a lot of community needs, a lot of good work that you guys do with the schools, taking care of folks.
We're about to do that again. Yeah,
Yes,
we're
we are.
back into the schools, so we're right behind Gem Prep, and I know that's a charter school here locally.
Right. We'll be at Mountain View in a couple days, actually.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it. Let's talk about schools.
indeed.
Take care of kids.
Taking care of kids and making sure we have kids that have jobs. And you've been known to hire a few that have come out of the Nampa technical arena.
Yeah, it really means a lot to us that we have an educated group that are coming out. Obviously, if that's good for the society in general.
Yeah. You take a look at the growth in our community. What do you make of that? A lot more traffic, a lot more vehicles.
Wow, yeah, we're seeing a lot of California license plates, aren't we?
Well, we covered that last hour, but
Oh, you
yes.
did? You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
we had
Sorry, I missed that.
That's okay. We had a gentleman call and said, I know you people hate us. And I didn't say, no, we don't hate you. just please change your plates and love Idaho.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
we need a little Idaho revenue.
Right.
We need some more Idaho plates.
We do. Have you seen the roads? Yes. But just change the plates. I tell Chandler this all the time. Change the plates.
Change the plates.
Right.
Maybe we could have a California tax.
Well,
add 1% to the 6%.
I was trying to build a wall, but didn't really go that far.
Oh,
yeah.
Build the wall.
Build the wall between Idaho and California, but
wow.
We couldn't get the funding for that.
That's
like the president.
long Oregon-Washington border.
Right, and Montana too. I don't trust those people. A lot of libs.
It's kind of cool when you drive into Utah; it's still 80.
Yes.
So we know there's something going on that's right there.
Right. Well, maybe I could get our friends in Utah to help us.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Indeed. Rob Studebaker, anything else you'd like to share with us?
We're just really, really glad to be a part of this group, and you got some great people here. And,
it is an eclectic group, isn't it?
You guys are something else.
Yes.
Something else.
You won't find us anywhere else.
God bless you all.
Okay, Team Mazda Subaru. You in Nampa, Aaron at Boise Town Square Mall.
Yep,
so
battling it out.
So you can go to the Cheesecake Factory and go hang out with Aaron.
Yes. Other side, behind Sears.
Well, you could take the walk.
Yeah, you could walk around.
That's my preferred entrance is Sears.
Yeah. Big tent. Can't miss him.
Right. Just ask him about the Raiders.
Oh, I think that's why he didn't come.
Well, that's okay. My Patriots aren't doing well either. Rob Studebaker, Team Mazda Subaru. Go team, save money, drive happy.
I think it's buy happy.
Okay. Always a pleasure. All right. Proudly promoting our school, securing our future. We went to traffic already, right?
Traffic and weather.
Yeah, we did.
With Dave.
Yes. And Larry.
Oh, Larry.
Let's find out what happened while you were sleeping or perhaps while you were listening. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Kevin.
KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. From your house to the White House, literally from the White House right now. John Decker joining us from Fox News Radio. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Not bad. I don't know how Thursday can be any bigger than a day we're going to have in Washington, D.C. Not only are we going to have the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, but we're going to have the Deputy Attorney General meeting with the President of the United States. Your thoughts on both, sir?
Well, you're right. It will be an incredibly busy day, and I think just about anybody who can get in front of a television or listen on the radio is going to be tuning in to what happens on Capitol Hill with the testimony of Brett Kavanaugh and the woman who has accused him of a sexual assault more than 3 decades ago, Dr. Ford. And so that's taking place on Capitol Hill. Here at the White House, of course, you have the number 2 person at the Justice Department meeting with the president here at the White House. Usually that wouldn't be such a big deal, but it is because the thought was, at least earlier in the week, that the president may fire Rod Rosenstein. I don't think that's going to happen, but the president will indeed be meeting with him and hearing from him in person those same denials that he's made in 2 separate statements as it relates to that New York Times story which came out on Friday, which painted Rosenstein in a very unfavorable light.
And now we have Sarah Sanders making news, John.
Well, what specifically are you referring to?
Just that she won't offer assurances for the future of the Mueller probe if Rosenstein goes.
Well, I think that Sarah Sanders, her comments, and I saw them on Fox News, sort of taken out of comment. She has called on the Mueller investigation to end as soon as it possibly can. She's made that declaration on many occasions, and I don't think she's going to get out in front of the president. I have no doubt the president will hear Rod Rosenstein out, and I think after hearing him out and also getting some advice from the president's closest aides, I don't think that he is going to dismiss him from his position as the number 2 person at the Justice Department. So that being said, I think that it's quite likely that there will be some personnel moves here at the White House that will take place after the midterm elections. But I would be very surprised if there are personnel moves that take place before the midterms.
John Decker, as you're in the press area there at the White House, are people just anxiously awaiting what's going to happen tomorrow? I mean, you guys follow this for a living. it's got to be historic on so many levels.
Well, it is. I mean, the last time that we've had a Supreme Court confirmation process that has really garnered the attention of literally the entire country was decades ago. Clarence Thomas's confirmation hearings in which some allegations were made against him by Anita Hill. Of course, he went on to be confirmed by the full Senate, and he is one of the senior members now of the Supreme Court after having been confirmed way back in 1991.
John Decker, we can't wait to hear what you have to say tomorrow, and we appreciate you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. You have a great day, and I'll talk to you real soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, John. Let's go to Ben in Garden City, who's been very patient. Ben, sorry for the wait. Good morning. Okay. Let's go to Tom in Nampa. Tom, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller. Thanks for your patience. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Just having fun here at Independence Indoor Shooting, brother.
Wish I was there. Truly. Question. I've heard a lot of noise that says that Kavanaugh's unworthy because he's been accused. Very well. There are how many members of the House and Senate that have been accused of harassment, and their accusers have been paid off out of taxpayer money? Now, if Kavanaugh is unworthy, should not all these members resign or be dismissed? I would like to hear the various Me Too types comment on this. I would like their input.
That's a great point.
Because I read one report that it was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars of hush money paid to these people. I was just wondering how that, is there a line item on the budget for covering up legislative indiscretions?
Good point.
If you have any other firearms, legal firearms experts, you might want to ask them about the Hughes Amendment back in '86 that I believe was passed wrongly because Charlie Rangel had the gavel, and they voted against it, but he said it passed. And under the rules, he's the only one that can make that call. I'm just wondering, that was back in '86. No one has tried to correct this egregious violation of procedure. It passed. It's a law. People have gone to jail under a law that was passed wrongly. I'm thinking
Tom?
That might be like a miscarriage of justice. That's just me, of course.
Tom, appreciate the phone call. Call again, would you?
I will. I do. I will irritate you later.
Well, we look forward to waking up being irritated. To Max in Garden City, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Max.
Hey, good morning. I was listening on the news just 10 minutes ago or so. Was that Meridian that passed this gender equality law?
Yes.
The way he read it, the way it sounds, it means anybody with a mental illness of, say, transgender identity disorder or whatever can go there and go to the bathroom in the same bathroom as my granddaughter or as my grandson. How is it that a mental disorder allows you privilege above and beyond the people who are relatively sane? This is in Idaho. This is in our backyard, and they're going to let these freaks share a bathroom with our children, our grandchildren. It's wrong.
Well, perhaps you need to call the Meridian City Council and let them know what you think.
You know what? They really don't care. Are you a citizen of Meridian? No. Click. They really don't care.
Well, what do you want to say to them personally? We have a lot of people in Meridian that listen. We're in Meridian right now.
Well,
what do you want to say to the city council members?
Meridianites, you need to pay attention. You're a small town. You have access to these people. You see them in the supermarkets. You can go and believe their meetings are open. How in the hell did you let this pass? If you've got children or grandchildren and you're out there in the shopping mall, Mommy, I have to go to the bathroom, you had darn well, even if they're teenagers, you'd better go in with them because you don't know what's waiting for them, because now it's legal for some trans LGBTQ freak to roll on in either bathroom at his or her or its discretion. Oh, Kayla Jenner, why did you ever hang your face in public? There, I'm done ranting. Thank you very
Max.
much for the time. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Joining us now from Independence Indoor Shooting, our friend Greg Pruitt from the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. If people want to join, what can they do?
Go to idahosaa.org, and we'd love to have them as a member.
Again, our freedoms are could be taken away.
Doesn't take long, and it goes pretty quick. Unfortunately, it takes everything we have to keep what we have and try to move the ship the other direction. But if you're not paying attention, if you're not awake and watching what's happening, that ship sinks really quick.
Sure, and we're going to ask Tea Party Bob to step up for a minute. Dr. Furch is here. Dr. Furch, you have to get up. I want to talk to Dr. Furch. Yeah, get up. My goodness gracious. Never mess with Tea Party Bob here. He'll give you the judo chop. That was a little contentious there. I thought he was going to pop me for having you take his seat.
Want to relinquish that, did he?
No, he didn't. Dr. Furch, you were just here firing away. What happened?
Yeah, well, not much in the way of paper damage on my target. I found out that my newly built rifle has to be bore-sighted pretty badly.
Right.
So I got to get a little work done on it.
Was that you firing in the back?
Probably was.
Yeah?
I put a few rounds through that this morning. This is a nice place. It's my first time here, and very nice, clean, and the targeting system's pretty cool.
Right. Will you come back?
Oh yeah, I think I will. It's a great place. I got to get a little work done on the weapon first.
Once you find it, really easy, very convenient to get to. Independence Indoor Shooting.
Especially from my house, it's only about 4 miles away, so it's nice to have a 100-yard range in such close proximity without dust and whistle pigs, I guess.
Sure. Dr. Furch, anything else you'd like to share with us today?
No, I think everybody should come down. It's a great place, and I enjoyed my few minutes of firing this morning.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Dr. Furch. Hopefully we'll see you again when we do this again. Are you going to talk to us there, Sweet Prince, or are you pouting now? Right, out of your chair. We are doing a live radio show here. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Don't forget to listen today at 3 during Sean Hannity for your chance to win up to $5,000. Win Kevin Miller's money. More details at KIDOTalkRadio.com. So you heard Greg Pruitt talking about these red flag laws where possibly Idaho could join the group, where someone could say, I don't like Tea Party Bob's mouth, and they could come take your guns.
Why do you think I want to get out of Dodge?
You're leaving the state of Idaho.
No, I'm looking.
Okay, you got to speak into the
microphone.
microphone.
I'm looking to get
please.
a little further out of the city where all the wackos are, like down in Boise.
Right.
In fact, what you said this morning, I didn't realize that our good friend, our supposed new Governor Little, hasn't even signed your forms yet. What's with that program?
Well, wait a minute. What is this? Tea Party Bob doesn't answer the question.
I'm very interested
and
in this.
interviews Greg
I
Pruitt.
need to write an article about this. Somebody.
Well, you need to do a lot of things.
When's
the last article you wrote?
It was about you.
About the Gem State. Well, that's a good piece there.
I don't. We
Greg, you're speaking to the microphone there.
We had some citizens that did reach out to the Little campaign, and all that they informed these citizens was that they had a lot of surveys to fill out.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you, I've met a lot of the Californians that have moved in here, and to be very honest with you, most of the ones I've met are pretty conservative.
I don't know. You heard, and people, if you miss any of the program, you can always podcast it. Ray Maya does an outstanding job. But you had a gentleman calling in and goes, I know they hate us. I go, no, we don't hate you.
I heard that this morning.
We don't hate you, but, you move to a place, you should change your plates.
Well, not just that, but they're driving the price of housing through the roof so people can't buy houses anymore.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Well, yeah, it's good if you're not looking for a house.
Or, right, I love people that go, hey, I sold my house, it was great. Whoops, I can't find a place to live.
That's exactly right.
It's crazy times here.
That's what my problem's been.
Right. Any other thoughts here today, sir?
I have to agree with Greg. He put an article in the Gem State about the red flag laws, and the problem is they have this liberal creep that's going on through Boise and now in Meridian. They passed the new law, discrimination and non-discrimination laws.
Max covered that extensively for
well,
about 20 minutes.
I'm getting to my point.
Okay.
You stop interrupting me if you don't mind.
Wow.
You just run the show. That's all.
Exactly.
You know, if it wasn't for people like Greg, you wouldn't have a show.
Right. Thank you, Sean Hannity. Continue on. We've only got 10 minutes left, and I have another segment to get to, so please.
But in any case,
yes, sir.
I do think we have this liberal creep coming in here piece by piece, and they're tearing us down so slowly we don't notice it. You know, it's kind of like a cancer that gets into you, and you don't realize you have it until you're dead. So I would say, we need to be on guard. We need to get the legislators active again. And the way things have been going, you know, the business groups here have been trying to keep the real conservatives out of the legislature. So it has to be changed. We have to move forward again this year.
Yes.
And anything else you'd like?
No, you're done.
You are the greatest. Let me tell you, Kevin, the best show on radio.
On television.
Well, it may be on television soon, you know. You could take the place of many of the really liberal.
Look, if you want someone that looks like John Candy, I'm your guy.
I like John Candy.
Yeah.
He was very funny.
Yeah, I'll have to it's not that funny, folks. All right, the truth hurts. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Do want to thank our friends at Independence Indoor Shooting. Do want to thank Jordan for stopping by, Anna for stopping by, our finalists for the Girls with Guns. We're hoping to get Bree. Maybe she can join us in the studio. Thanks to Independence Indoor Shooting and U.S. Law Shield. They've joined us once again. Stuart and John with us once again. We'll talk a little bit about why you need additional protection when it comes to self-defense. Gentlemen, and by the way, for people that call in, you wanted to offer them a special deal as well.
Absolutely. So the next 10 callers that call into Independence Indoor Shooting, we are going to give away 2 free months of membership and a free online gunshot wound course. So the next 10 callers, starting here in about 10 minutes once we get off air, call in to 208-576-4867. Once again, that's 208-576-GUNS. And myself and John will take care of you over the phone, get you hooked up with a membership and some freebies. Other than that, we have some events coming up in the near future. John, go ahead and roll it.
All right. So this coming Friday, September 28th, we actually have the Know the Law Before You Draw seminar, and that's going to be with one of our attorneys, Chuck Peterson. He's actually going to be here. It's a 3-hour class. You guys can come here, listen to a couple, some outstanding laws that we have here, and also ask some questions and just get to know some of our attorneys, get some face-to-face time. And another thing that I'm personally...
Now, how can they sign up for that? What's the easiest way? Should they call here, a website? What's the easiest? Because you know you're in your car, John, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, U.S. Law Shield, Independence Indoor Shooting, 576 Guns for 2 months free, and the online class for free. Again, it's passive listening right now. So how can they take advantage of this class? What's the easiest way to get a hold of you two?
Very easy. Just show up. Show up the 28th between 6 and 9, or it starts at 6, and you pay at the door. It's $5.
That's here?
Correct.
Okay.
It's going to be $5 for members and $10 for non-members.
So that's October 6th, Independence Indoor Shooting.
Negative. That's going to be September 28th.
See, that's the thing. People don't listen. I'm next to you at September 28th,
Yep.
once again.
September 28th here at Independence Indoor Shooting here in Meridian.
Okay.
From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., and you can pay at the door.
Okay. And for more information, you can always call Independence at 576 Guns. Why do people need U.S. Law Shield?
It's like having a fire extinguisher, a spare mag, or a tourniquet. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It's an important piece of kit, just like having, a quality firearm, quality holster, quality ammunition. To me, it's an absolute must. Having served overseas, I know the importance of quality gear, quality equipment. This is not necessarily equipment, but it's equipping yourself for that legal fight that will ensue after a self-defense incident occurs.
Everybody's always worried about that you protect yourself, but you need protection against the legal system, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, traffic and weather together, then more with our friends at U.S. Law Shield.
Larry Gabbard.
Appreciate that, Larry. So, once again, U.S. Law Shield, 576 Guns. Call in about 5 minutes for your 2 months free. And let's get back to this free class. What does that entail?
So, basically, it's the gunshot wound first aid course. It's our online version. We also do a actual course which is in a classroom setting. Basically, it goes over tourniquets and stop the bleed, basically keeping somebody stable until the next echelon of care arrives, paramedics, and until they get to the next level of care, which would be the ER. And we are actually putting on one of those courses on October 5th here at Independence from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can go sign up at usgunlawseminar.com or show up and pay at the door. It's $39 for members and $59 for non-members.
It really comes down to being prepared. And we're talking about this covers you in any type of self-defense, right?
Absolutely.
Even if it's a pen, you said last hour.
A pen, your fist, anything that you have to utilize to preserve life.
And that really happens these days. People try and...
It's a very unpredictable, dynamic, and fluid world that we live in.
Indeed. Okay, gentlemen, one more time, how can they get a hold of you guys to sign up?
Call Independence Indoor Shooting at 208-576-4867, and we are standing by as of now.
All right. Any other things you want to share?
No, thanks for having us. Enjoyed it.
We enjoyed you guys. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Kevin Miller in the morning. Good day. God bless. Ray Amaya, thank you. Thank you, Independence Indoor Shooting, U.S. Law Shield. Glenn Beck is next. Good morning, everybody.